The moment your eyes flutter open in the stillness of the morning, you aren't simply waking up to the ordinary routine of a new day. What you're experiencing is the awakening of something much deeper, far more profound, a higher calling that stretches beyond the everyday hustle, beyond the distractions that seem to fill your mind. You are being called, in subtle ways, to step into a higher state of awareness, to remember the truth that your existence is not confined to the material world, but is part of a grand spiritual journey. This life you're living, though it may seem limited by time, space, and circumstance, is far more expansive and magnificent than you can imagine. Every moment holds the potential for spiritual growth, for transformation, and for deeper understanding. Yet, along this sacred path, there are inevitable trials that shape and mold you. And perhaps one of the greatest challenges you will face is the test of letting go. It's human nature to hold tightly to the things we love, to the people, possessions, and ideas that bring us comfort and a sense of security. These attachments, in many ways, define our experience of the world, and we often cling to them as though they are essential to our very existence. But when the things we hold dear begin to transform into idols, when they start to take up so much space in our hearts and minds that we feel we cannot live without them, we risk losing sight of the deeper purpose we are here to fulfill. The act of clinging too tightly can cloud our vision, preventing us from stepping into the true potential of who we are meant to become. You may not even realize it, but when you tell yourself, "I cannot live without this person," or "I would be lost without this job or this possession," you are sending a powerful signal out into the universe. It's as though you are ringing a bell in the spiritual realm, alerting the forces around you that you are ready for a lesson in letting go. This isn't meant as a punishment or some cruel twist of fate. Rather, it's a necessary challenge designed to help you grow, to push you to rediscover the strength and completeness that already resides within you. If you ever find yourself so deeply attached to something or someone that your very identity seems inseparable from it, the universe will often step in to show you the truth. It may orchestrate circumstances that force you to experience life without that attachment. And while this process may be painful, it's not about taking something away from you. Instead, it's about guiding you back to yourself. It's about reminding you that your worth, your purpose, and your very being are not dependent on anything external. This lesson in letting go is one that echoes through many spiritual traditions. In Buddhism, we are taught the principle of non-attachment, the understanding that clinging to anything, whether it be material or emotional, only leads to suffering. The Stoics, too, encourage us to cultivate emotional resilience, to accept the impermanence of life and the fleeting nature of all things. These teachings are not about detaching from love or from life's joys, but about recognizing that everything in the material world is temporary. To place our happiness and our sense of self in the hands of something that can change or fade away is to build our lives on an unstable foundation. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, knows exactly what we need to experience in order to grow. And often, this means being tested. These tests are not meant to torment us, but to reveal where our true loyalties lie. The universe asks us, are you more attached to the fleeting pleasures of this world than to your higher calling? Is your heart so entangled in material gains and earthly desires that you've forgotten your larger purpose? These questions are not easy to face, but they are essential. Every attachment you release, every idol you break, brings you one step closer to your true self, to the person you are meant to become. Letting go doesn't mean giving up on love or passion. It doesn't mean becoming cold or indifferent to the world around you. On the contrary, it means loving more freely, living more fully because you're no longer bound by fear. You're no longer holding on so tightly that you forget to breathe, to experience, to grow. With every test, with every challenge that asks you to release your grip on what you think you need, you are being invited to spread your wings and soar. You are being called to step into the vastness of your potential, to embrace the freedom that comes from knowing that you are enough, just as you are. Rumi, the great mystic poet, reminds us of this truth when he says, "You were born with wings. Why prefer to crawl through life? Life is always calling you to rise above, to fly, to go beyond the limits of what you think is possible. The universe is asking you to trust, to let go of what no longer serves you, and to step into the flow of spiritual growth. Every time you release an attachment, you make room for something greater to enter your life. You make room for new experiences, new insights, and new levels of understanding. The goal isn't to eliminate love or joy from your life, but to ensure that these emotions don't become barriers that hold you back from your ultimate purpose. But letting go is just one aspect of the spiritual journey. Another equally important test is the test of patience. In today's world, where everything seems to be at our fingertips, where we've been conditioned to expect instant results, the very idea of waiting can feel unbearable. We've become so used to having what we want, when we want it, that the concept of patience often seems foreign. Yet on the spiritual path, patience is not only necessary, it's transformative. Patience, as Joyce Meyer so beautifully puts it, is not the ability to wait, but the ability to keep a good attitude while waiting. In our fast-paced, technology-driven lives, waiting can feel like a form of suffering, as though we're being deprived of something we deserve. But these periods of waiting are far from empty. They are rich with meaning and purpose. The universe isn't making you wait to punish you or to deny you your desires. It's making you wait so that you can grow, so that you can become the person who is ready to receive what you are asking for. When we are asked to wait, it's often because there is something more we need to learn, something we need to cultivate within ourselves before we can step into the next phase of our journey. These moments of delay, these pauses in the flow of life, are opportunities to practice stillness. They are invitations to stop, to breathe, to reflect on where we are and where we're going. They teach us that life doesn't always move at the pace we want, and that's okay. In fact, it's a gift, because when we learn to find peace in the waiting, we also learn to find peace in the uncertainty of life itself. Eckhart Tolle teaches us that to offer no resistance to life is to be in a state of grace, ease, and lightness. This is the essence of patience, learning to flow with life rather than against it. When we stop fighting the current, when we stop trying to force things to happen on our own timetable, we open ourselves up to the magic of the present moment. We begin to see that there is beauty in the waiting, that there is wisdom in the pause. And as we cultivate this patience, we also cultivate resilience, strength, and a deeper connection to our true selves. But patience alone isn't enough. There will be moments on your journey when everything seems to be falling apart, when the ground beneath your feet feels like it's crumbling, and you're left wondering if you can continue. These are the moments when your faith is tested the most. It's easy to have faith when life is going smoothly, when everything is falling into place. But the real test of faith comes when you're in the midst of a storm, when nothing seems to be going the way you planned. In these moments, it's tempting to believe that something has gone terribly wrong. But what if these challenges are exactly what you need to experience in order to grow? What if the universe is not punishing you, but preparing you? When everything around you feels like it's falling apart, this is the universe's way of pruning you, of cutting away the dead branches, the beliefs and attachments that no longer serve you. It's a painful process, but it's one that is necessary for your growth. Faith, in its truest form, is not about believing that everything will go according to your plan. It's about trusting that everything is unfolding according to the universe's plan, and that plan is always for your highest good. Even when you can't see it, even when it feels like everything is going wrong, there is a deeper purpose at work. The universe is shaping you, molding you into the person you are meant to be. When you are in the midst of these storms, it can feel like you are being broken, but in reality, you are being sculpted. You are being refined, strengthened, and prepared for something greater. The challenges you face are not meant to destroy you, but to build you up, to help you step into your full potential. Every test of faith, every trial you endure, is an opportunity to grow closer to the divine, to deepen your connection with the universe, and to trust that you are exactly where you need to be. In the end, the spiritual journey is one of constant growth, of letting go, of cultivating patience, and of keeping faith even in the darkest of times. It's about learning to trust the process, to embrace the challenges, and to know that every step you take is leading you closer to your true self. You are not just a small being in a vast universe. You are the universe experiencing itself. And the journey you are on is nothing short of miraculous. So, as you continue along this path, remember to trust in the unfolding of your life. Let go of what no longer serves you. Cultivate patience in the waiting, and hold on to your faith, even when the road gets tough. You were born with wings. It's time to fly.